Ellen DeGeneres has been all over the news, and with more of her former staff members speaking out against her, it seems as though her time has come to an end. Today we put together a list of Ellen's worst moments throughout her career as the Queen of Nice. Everything from hanging out with George W. Bush to embarrassing MARIAH Carey, we have everything you need to know. Welcome to Top 10 Beyond the Screen, I'm your host Johnny Rogers, and before we kick this video off, let us know down below which guest on Ellen was your least favorite and tell us why. Also, if you don't want to miss another daily video from us, make sure you tap that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Plus make sure you stay all the way to the end of this video because I'll be reading out some of your comments as well. Now without any further delay, let's get right into today's list of the top 10 worst Ellen DeGeneres moments. In at number 10, GIADA de LAURENTIIS. This 2017 cooking segment is now a viral disaster for all to watch online. It was pretty much a disaster right from the jump, and having Nicole Kidman on as a guest really didn't help. GIADA was teaching both Nicole and Ellen how to make some of her favorite celebrity chef recipes. At least that was the intended plan. Instead, GIADA made sexual innuendos about rice balls, insinuating that Ellen's never handled anything like that, which I thought was funny. Although that even slightly insulted Nicole Kidman, who reminded GIADA that this was a family show. However, GIADA doesn't stop with the insults. From there, she quickly pivoted to insulting Ellen's lack of culinary skills, even saying that her rice balls looked like dog food. After those few insults, Ellen basically bailed on the entire segment. She started eating the food on the table and overall just roasting how bad it was with Nicole Kidman joining in. The professional thing to do though in this situation would be just smile through the segment, Ellen. Don't embarrass your guest for just being nervous, which seemed like where these insults were coming from. In at number 9, ditching Drew Barrymore. Drew has been on Ellen several times and the pair seem to get along quite well. Although when they began working together on a new NBC show called First Dates, a feud started to build. The show is described by the network as a groundbreaking series that will explore all of the simple wonders of a first date. However, according to an insider, Ellen and Drew's relationship was similar to mixing oil and water. Apparently Ellen expected to be the one calling the shots, but Drew believed that she should be in creative control because she's the movie star that people are tuning in to see. Ah, battle of Hollywood egos, gotta love it. They did manage to separate their roles, with Ellen being the executive producer and Drew narrating, but this didn't last long though, and the show ended up getting cancelled before the start of the second season. All because Ellen needed control. In at number 8, Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin has had a long-standing feud with Ellen that she even wrote about in her book. While Griffin has been a vocal advocate for gay marriage throughout her career, her feud with Ellen is the reason she believes that she was banned from the talk show. In Kathy Griffin's book, she said, "I'm almost positive a certain beloved daytime talk show host once had me kicked out of a backstage dressing room at the Emmy Awards." She also went on to say, "I can't prove it, but this person who has short blonde hair has a mean streak that all of Hollywood knows about," and now we know about too. The apparent feud began in 2007 when, according to Kathy, Ellen did a monologue about how mean she was. Apparently Griffin had tried to make amends with Ellen over the phone, but they ended up fighting about Joan Rivers, leading to Griffin calling Ellen an untalented hack. Again, this is according to Kathy Griffin, so take that for what it is. In at number 7, she's a terrible boss. When the pandemic shut down the world, the wealthy among us had a moral choice to make. If you owned a business, do you then give what you have to keep your employees on the payroll, or do you abandon them? In Ellen's case, she had a tight-knit and dedicated crew that outlasted a writer's strike and still stuck by her afterwards. Yet when they needed help, Ellen and her net worth of $400 million said, "Bye Felicia." What's worse is that she hired a non-union crew instead to run her show from home. So you force them not to unionize and then turn around and show them exactly why they should have teamed up. This comes after Variety reported that Ellen's staff were given no information and entirely left in the dark after filming for the show stopped in March. And then she said her mansion felt like jail. By the way, that's a $27 million mansion. Hardly feels like jail. In at number 6, fame over values. Not only did Ellen lie about not getting a birthday invitation to Dakota Johnson's party, but her reason for missing the party was its own controversy that she even tweeted about. She said, "Yes, that was me at the Cowboys game with George Bush over the weekend." Ellen was then blasted on Twitter for hanging out with former Republican President George W. Bush, and here's how she handled it. By them hanging out, people are supposed to have faith in America again? Bush was the president for 8 years and fought against gay marriage. He even wanted to make a constitutional amendment in 2004 that would define marriage as a union of a man and a woman. I believe Walker had the best take on this though. He said, "Here's the thing, Ellen. George W. Bush is a war criminal who is responsible for death on a cataclysmic scale. It's not a matter of being friends with people with different beliefs. We all have those friends. It's about having a little perspective on the damage he's done." In at number 5, strange rules for her staff. When Kevin Porter tweeted out, "Right now we all need a little kindness," you know, like Ellen DeGeneres always talks about. She's also notoriously one of the meanest people alive. Respond to this with the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean, and I'll match everyone with $2 to the LA Food Bank. Woo, he probably had to pay out a lot. And the response to that though was overwhelming. However, for this point, let's focus in on the ones about the bizarre rules for her staff. Benjamin said, "A, she has a sensitive nose, so everyone must chew gum from a bowl outside of her office before talking to her, and if she thinks you smell that day, you have to go home and shower." You have to go home and shower? Who does that? What a weird power move. You smell, so stop working, go home, shower, and then come back and stay late and work more. Chelsea Babcock said, when I was working on At Midnight, our stage manager told us to never work for Ellen. He told us she has signs up in her office that say, do not look the host in the eye. I'm sorry, but that's far from normal. Don't look her in the eye. What a bizarre rule to have. And definitely one of her worst moments. In at number 4, rude to YouTubers. Most of the time Ellen fawns over celebrities, but it's rarely celebrities that come from any realm other than Hollywood level fame. When she had YouTuber Nikki Tutorials on the show, she was treated far worse than any of the other guests. The makeup guru said that her appearance on the Ellen show has reminded her to never meet her idols. Upon arriving on set, Nikki recalled that Ellen didn't even want to say hello to her. And according to Pop Crave, she said, every guest at Ellen had a private toilet, but I didn't. I couldn't even use the closest one to me because it was reserved for the Jonas Brothers? What a weird flex. Adding, call me naive, but I kind of expected to be welcomed with confetti cannons and someone saying, welcome to the Ellen DeGeneres show, but instead, I was greeted by an angry intern who was a bit overworked, which, from what we know now, sounds about right. In at number 3, embarrassed her own audience. In 2017, Ellen was beloved by everyone, but some started to view her in a more negative light when she embarrassed one of her audience members live on the show. Ellen had set up a table with cheap gift bags and her team put in a hidden camera. When one of the guests grabbed an extra bag for a family member that couldn't make it to the taping, Ellen put her on blast. The worst part is that Ellen embarrassed her in front of the entire audience as well as everyone watching at home. All she could do is laugh along with everyone in this very awkward televised moment, and it's very lazy of her to just embarrass her own audience for a game, and everyone saw right through it. In at number 2, took money from kids. In 1984, California voters approved the state lottery with an understanding that 34% of sales revenue would go towards education. However, in December, the company just gave Ellen a bunch of their scratch ticket games to give away on the show. In fact, each audience member received a $500 bundle of scratch tickets from the California state lottery. Now, of course, they both saw this as a publicity boom, but a whistleblower from inside the company is suggesting that it was a misuse of funds. The total face value for these tickets was just over $200,000, and by just giving away these lottery tickets on her show, Ellen and the lottery company should be held responsible for that loss. The weird thing is that they even mentioned how the revenue from the tickets would go towards education in Los Angeles, then she just turns around and accepts it with no money exchanged to the foundation. Last but certainly not least, our number 1 spot, she exposed Mariah Carey. Back in 2008 when Mariah Carey came on the Ellen show, there was big rumors circulating that Mariah might be pregnant. However, instead of respecting her wishes to not mention these rumors or further speculate, Ellen forced her to address it. Ellen wanted to be the first one to break this story of Mariah's pregnancy, and to do so she brought out alcohol to force a confession. Now clearly if Mariah was pregnant, having alcohol would be a terrible idea. But why does Ellen feel like she's in charge of this information? Despite all of Mariah's refusing to take part in Ellen's game, she was eventually backed into a corner. She then takes a small sip from that glass that prompts Ellen to start shouting that Mariah is pregnant. And sadly, Mariah Carey would have a miscarriage just a few weeks later. With that though, let's check out some of your comments from the video titled, Will the Ellen Show Get Cancelled? Casper says, please take Ellen off the air forever. I have a feeling that she's not going to be returning after all of this. Scott Halliday says, she has enough money to retire and live a very comfortable life, so I don't know why she just wouldn't quit. But most people like her won't retire because they're very narcissistic people that crave attention like a junkie craves heroin. Scott, you are exactly right with this one. M says, I'm not surprised if the show is cancelled, she's a bully after all. Her bullying seems to be very out of control too, and I wouldn't be surprised if this does lead to her show being cancelled or repurposed. Cindy Cheney says, hey Johnny, thanks for the video, Ellen should be cancelled. You're very welcome, Cindy, and we couldn't agree more. Gordon Freeman says, The Rock hopefully will be the new Ellen. The Rock is most definitely my choice to take over the show. I don't know about everybody else. Chris, would you watch The Rock take over the show? The Rock show? That would be amazing. But he did just buy the XFL, so maybe he might be a little busy for the next while. But here's hoping. And that has been the top 10 worst Ellen DeGeneres moments. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to our editors for all of their hard work. If you enjoyed this video, then please show some love by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on today's list. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is tap that playlist when it pops up. From Top 10 Beyond the Screen, my name is Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy. It should be cancelled. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Twinsie.